Hi everyone, Max here for the Burly Bucks, and today is the second part of the PC card game Neophyte review. Now this week I have been trying probably one of the most famous and oldest card game out there, Magic the Gathering. So if you're a newbie like me and trying to sort out which card game is right for you, stick around and we will take a look at this game and let you know my personal opinion on it. Also stay tuned till the end of the video where I give you a redeemable codes that you will unlock a sizable number of booster packs for you. I hope you do enjoy the video, and if you do, leave us a like and subscribe. So, like I said in the latest video of the series, I have never played any card game on PC, but with this one it is slightly different. Since it is old and used to be a tabletop card game before becoming a video game, I have been exposed to some of it. Mostly in high school, I had a bunch of friends who used to play, and I even played a few games with Frankie a few years back. I never really did catch on since it is a rather complex game and it takes a lot of time to master this highly strategic game. So Magic the Gathering Arena is not the first version of this game, but merely the newest version and by far the most appealing visually. There is also Magic the Gathering Online that is still out there, but it isn't the most user-friendly and decidedly needed an upgrade. First off, when you load Arena for the first time, you have the option to go through with the tutorial to teach newbies like me about the basics of the game and how to build a deck, and teaches you some rudimentary strategies with spells and skills. Like in the latest video, I won't be showing how to play the game, but merely giving you a sense of how the game is made, if it's easy to navigate, the visuals, music, sound effects, and the in-game mechanics. All of that from my newbie perspective. Showing you how to play and different strategies would be too long to put into this video. The in-game tutorial is more than adequate to teach you about the basics. As for strategies, there is a crapload of them, and most of them you can learn as you play. There is also a lot of sources online on how to build your decks to implement those strategies. Alright, with that being said, let's take a look at the game itself. When you finish the tutorial, you are greeted with this main menu on the Home tab. There's a lot of information here and it's a bit confusing. So let's take a look at the different parts of it, beginning with the lower part of the screen, the daily and weekly quest. When you achieve any of those, it rewards you with whatever is shown there. Mostly it's for the in-game currency or Mastery XP. The Mastery XP goes towards giving you level ups on the Mastery tab that we will see later. It's quite peculiar, but it does bring you closer to rewards of a bunch of cards to booster packs to garner the ranks of your decks. Next in this screen, the biggest thing you see is of course deals from the in-game store. It is rather obvious here, but as we go along, you will see that this game is rather heavily geared toward making you spend money in the game. Next to that, you have different modes of play that are available, like the Guild of Ravnica Draft Play. It is quite similar to the expansion mode in Legends of Runeterra, but it requires either in-game currency, and a crap load of it if you get on average 100 gold coins a win, or if you want to dish out money, it costs 750 gems. It costs around $5 for 2500 gems, so if you calculate quickly, it's going to cost you about 150 a pop. So this game mode is simple. Like in Legend of Runeterra, you choose cards randomly to build a deck on the go, and then you have to tackle a series of matchups in a row, and once you lose 3 matches, the run is over. If you are really good, you can finance your next playthrough since the rewards containing increasing amounts of gems in it. But you have to win at least 6 times before the run is over. Not an easy feat for a beginner. Next game mode is the Brawler's Guild Hall. And that one, my god, has a hefty price tag. You either have to grind 10,000 gold or pay up around $4 to play. Since I didn't have the time to grind that much in-game currency or wanted to dish out money for a game I might not play for long, I haven't played it. I did research about this game mode, and it is a mode where the rules are different, where you have to build a special deck that has more cards in it. You have to choose a commander card from your deck, and you have to assist him in-game to beat your adversary. I know it is a rather rudimentary explanation of this mode, but since it is behind a paywall, I don't want to speculate about it. Also, the only reward that I can see here is that after one win, you get a rare card for your efforts. Also, on the home tab, you obviously have the play button where you can engage in normal play, where you can play against friends or random players out there. There is also ranked games if you feel like you are ready for more competitive play. And finally, you can play against the computer, but I seriously doubt that doing so will prepare you to play against human players. Next up, if you fiddle with all the play modes switch up there is another game mode in there called the traditional Drafteros Beyond Death mode. This mode is once again behind a paywall, and this mode consists of drafting cards that you can keep after and try to win as much games before you lose 2 matches. If you do, the run is over. Once again, if you are a great player, you can finance your next playthrough since there is some gems in the higher tier rewards. Not much to say here except it seems like a traditional draft matchup behind a paywall that lets you keep the cards you pick. Once again, didn't play it, didn't want to fork up around $3 for it, so if I made an error in explaining the last 3 modes of play, let us know in the comments below. Next up is the profile tab. Not much here, shows your rank, level of mastery, and your avatar. After that, there is the deck tab where you can build your decks, add to them, or refine them as you play along. As you play, you will unlock new cards that you can then incorporate into your decks. All decks for regular games must follow these simple rules. Your deck has to have up to 60 cards in it, and you can't own more than 4 of each individual cards. Essentially, there are 5 decks that are at the start of the game that are separated into factions, if you will, like green, red, blue, black, and white magic. Also, as you get more cards and evolve through the game, you will also have the ability to build newer decks that have mixed cards from 2 factions. This gives you access to a crapload of strategies that can make you significantly better over time. Next up, there is the packs tab, where you can open up packs that you have unlocked through gameplay or purchased. Nothing much to it, it is fairly simple, but there is a big orange button that invites you into the store to buy new packs. Once again, you can spend a little for a modest pile of packs, or $100 for a shitload of them. Which brings us to the store. I'm not gonna show it all that much, it's pretty standard. You can buy gems to play game modes behind a paywall, or use them to purchase cards or aesthetics bundles that changes the visuals of the cards or boxes. Lastly, you have the mastery tab where you see the levels that you unlock by winning games. Each time you level up, you are rewarded with a mastery orb that you can place in the tree to receive additional rewards. This is an interesting unique mechanic that can make you want to try different decks because let's say you want to spend your mastery orbs, you need to play at least once with the red deck to open up the red 3. It's kinda neat. Alright, that's pretty much it for this game. We have seen most of the game modes, mechanics, and its visuals, so here is my appreciation for this game. First off, let's talk about the quality of the gameplay and visuals and so on. The gameplay is fairly simple to grasp after you go through the tutorial, but it doesn't prepare you much for advanced strategies. Those you will have to pick up on your own. The visuals in this game are very beautiful but somewhat dark compared to other games out there. I always found that the tabletop cards were very beautiful. The artistry that went on into the cards is astounding. This is where this game really shines. As for the complexity of the games, this is a fairly complex one where it will take a long time to master. There is a ton of cards, decks combination, spells and heroes that will take a sizable amount of time to be able to use or counter as much strategies as you can with ease. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, the monetization in this game. It is at some point ridiculous that it is behind the huge paywalls. Yes, most of them you can access with in-game currency, but you have to grind the hell out of it to enter those game modes, and somewhere you have no other means to enter than buying gems. This game feels to me like it is unnaturally geared toward wanting your money. Yes, it is a game, and yes, devs need to eat, but how many 5 stars dinner you can eat in one day, I wonder. It feels like those devs needs about 20 a day. So yeah, the game itself is great, but in my mind it is overshadowed by all the monetization scheme out there. I would recommend this game to people, but only those who really enjoy tabletop magic, or people that used to play for nostalgic sentiment. But for newbie players like me, there is certainly cheaper options out there. And now, as promised, Here is 6 redeemable codes that you can use. I found them hidden away in the official site for Magic the Gathering. I tested them out and they all work. Now there you go, you have codes for 18 booster packs for you to enjoy. Alright, with all that being said, I sure do hope that you liked the video this week, and if you did, consider subscribing. It always helps us a lot. It makes us very happy. Consider also smashing the like button and also giving us some comments down below. We always like to exchange with you guys. And with that being said, we love you all and have a great week.